Call the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Monday, December 15th. We're ready for NFL Monday Night Football tonight with the Miami Dolphins visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Brr, it's going to be cold tonight, but we got a good one on tap with the Dolphins, a little bit hotter than those Steelers, but still a closely rated game here. And some playoff implications as well tonight with the Steelers doing battle, of course, there with the Ravens in the NFC North and the Dolphins barely hanging on by a thread, but they'll give it their best shot tonight, and we'll cover the preview here on the show in just a few moments. We'll also have 5 games in the NBA. There's some NHL action tonight as well, and preview a couple college basketball games, a real light night on the college schedule. Hey, we just had some steam as I was just getting ready to come on the air. We got to have a little bit of steam here, even though we got a light night of sports betting action. It was McNeese State taking the steam here just a short time ago. They were about a 12-point favorite. The steam came in here on McNeese. Hot McNeese up against Houston Christian. They're all the way up to 15.5 here right now. Hope you're already on it because the moves come in on McNeese. They're having a pretty big year so far. Once again, 9-2 record, taking on Houston Christian tonight. McNeese State took the steam here on the Morning Steam Show. As also a few moments ago, it was Wofford taking the steam against Gardner Webb. Wofford was a 9.5-point favorite, and they're up to 11 now at Circa here in Las Vegas. So Wofford took some steam, and also the steam came in on the over in that one. It was 153, and now we're up to 155.5, even juice to the over here with Wofford and Gardner Webb. So, hey, there's a few moves out there overnight in college basketball. It's just a 7-game card pretty much here this evening. So thank you for joining me here on the show. Really appreciate having you here. Like I said, won't be here for very long, so I'll talk with a slow drawl here today and kind of cover some of the action from a wild day of NFL football. And man, if you like blowouts, well, Sunday was your day, I guess. The dogs were not barking necessarily in the NFL on Sunday. We did see plenty of favorites come through. Several of them double-digit favorites here on Sunday, and cover some of those matchups here right now and discuss the results. Here we go with our Sunday review here. Let me say hello to the folks in the chat. I mean, you guys are the reasons why I'm here. R. Thompson's here. Good morning, Cascade. Ready to go. Mr. Wester's here. The dogs weren't barking yesterday. You could say that again. D Money in the chat. And covers the matchups here. Let's do it. Talk about some of the games there yesterday in the National Football League. There, including The Bills over the Patriots. This one was a great one, man. And Josh Allen, talk about your MVP here. The Bills get right back into the uh, middle of things here. The Patriots led 21-0 with 3 minutes to go in the first half, but the Bills rallied big time behind Allen. The next six drives, they scored five touchdowns and had 300 yards. So the Bills have won 5 of 7. The loss snapped New England's 10-game winning streak. Patriots still lead Buffalo by a game in the NFC East, but the Bills and Allen made their point perfectly clear uh, by coming back and brought it back to within 24-14, and then did the job there. Great job there for the Patriots. They ran for nearly 10 yards a carry, but just couldn't hang on. The Bills just kept coming and coming and coming. New England just 4-14 last 18 as a home dog. The Bills were definitely a slight favorite in that one and got the win there with Allen 35-31 to get the money. They went up about 2.5-point favorite in the end, total 49.5 for an easy over. I didn't see that one coming there. I know we were talking under there yesterday, but there were points aplenty. The defenses are starting to rest maybe here a little bit towards the end of the season. And the other big one, it was the Broncos over the Packers impressively, 34-26 behind Bo Nix, 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. Denver, first 4 drives in the second half, 21 points, 200 yards. The Broncos have won 11 straight. Their last 6 by 8 points or less, but it doesn't matter when you're on a roll. And then the Packers, man, the injuries just keep piling up, and it's going to be now Micah Parsons out for the season. The Packers have seen their stock tumble here big time, where they're almost on the cusp of falling out of the playoff picture here in 7th place. They are ahead of the Lions pretty comfortably. The Packers will probably make the playoffs, but will they have enough to compete at all after losing their great tight end and now their defensive star? Packers just 6-15 against the spread, last 22 as a road favorite. They definitely went off as the favorite on the road in this one. They were a 1.5-point favorite, but the Denver Broncos get the win, 34-26. So they fall, like I said, to the number 7 seed. Green Bay also had 10 penalties in the game. Well, didn't work out quite for Phillip Rivers like we would have liked, but the Seahawks get the win. Still, the Colts got the money. Yeah, we had the Colts yesterday on the morning, Steve. We can at least claim that. Seattle kicked a 56-yard field goal with 18 seconds left for the win. The Colts had just kicked a 60-yard field goal just seconds earlier to take a 16-15 victory. The Seahawks had 10 drives. They scored no touchdowns. They kicked 6 field goals. I don't know if this team's good enough to make any run in the postseason. It just seems like we're dealing with just a few elite teams in the end and not enough mid-level teams, and so many teams with just 3, 4, 5 wins this season. No parity really in the NFL, it feels like in the end. But Seattle just had 50 yards rushing in the game. Phillip Rivers just 120 yards. Yeah, he was the big story in the game, but you could think the Colts could have done better with another signal caller or not. Maybe that's how the Colts at least stayed in the game, because he was able to manage the clock and manage the drives, but still 120 yards doesn't feel like it's going to get it done. They had just 215 yards of total offense. The Colts are 7-3 against the spread, last 10 as a road underdog, and they got the cover, but the Seahawks got the win. My Chargers won over the Chiefs, and well, it was rough for the Chiefs. We saw just as things were starting to unravel for the Chiefs in the end, and the announcers talking about if all these games stay the way they're going, the Chiefs are going to be out of the playoffs. If he just could have heard them in his head before he went down with that ACL injury, maybe pulled himself out of the game, because the Chiefs aren't going anywhere, and he was giving it one last-ditch effort. Mahomes was having one of his best seasons statistically, individually, but the Chiefs will be out of the playoffs for the first time in 11 years. And, of course, he tore his ACL at the end of the game, was able to walk off, but still sad to see Mahomes, and everyone wants to bury him today. Everyone wants to say the dynasty is over. I'll just remind you that Tom Brady, in his 9th season in the NFL, also tore his ACL. It was early season, but he missed that season, remember, and he came back to win 4 Super Bowls. So before we kind of bury Patrick Mahomes, let's just let him heal and recover and not put it past Andy Reid and those guys here. They had their share of injuries throughout their lineup this season. So we'll see. I'm sure Patrick Mahomes will be back. That's for sure. But hey, my Chargers have won 6 of their last 7, and they're pretty good in those close games. Hey, I'll say it. Are the Chargers kind of the dirtiest team in the NFL? I mean, they're coming in here obviously with a good record, man, but they do take some shots with their defense there, with Jefferson there yesterday. They kind of upset teams a little bit with their style of play right now, especially defensively. They're doing a great job defensively. They're not an elite team at all. In fact, as a Chargers fan, I'm kind of like, man, they're 10-4, and this might be the worst 10-4 team I've ever seen. But nonetheless, the Chargers overcame a 13-10 deficit, scored the only 6 points in the second half, got the win. The Chiefs, Mahomes intercepted twice in the second half, and the Chargers are the number 5 seed currently in the AFC, just ahead of the Buffalo Bills. They're going to the playoffs, but sad to see Mahomes there, going to miss the rest of the season with that knee injury. All right, the Carolina Panthers fell to 0-12 in their last 12 games as a favorite. Dismal here to consider that I was on the Panthers in that one. That usually doesn't happen going against trends like that, but it proved to be a good trend because the Saints beat the Panthers 20-17. Now Carolina and Tampa Bay are both 7-7, tied for first in the NFC South. They'll play 2 of the last 3 games against one another. So the NFC South will take focus here, even though they got poor teams. They'll get a chance to put their champion into the playoffs. The rookie for the Saints, Smith, kicked a 47-yard game-winning field goal at the end of the game, and he comes from the NFL's international player pool. I think they got a more fancier name for it, but where they develop international players. He's from Northern Iowa, just recently was added to the practice squad and then to the team, and he was able to get the winning field goal there. Carolina led late, 17-10 with 3 minutes left, but the Saints rallied for the win, so they only have themselves to blame, putting themselves back into that position. New Orleans outgained the Panthers by 55 yards, and Carolina was penalized 11 times for 100 yards in the game, so the Saints got the win. Rams roll again. They beat the Lions 41-34. They led 24. Detroit led 24-17 at halftime, but the Rams outscored Detroit 24-10 in the second half. The Lions' last 3 drives of the game ended up with just 3 and outs, while the Rams were cooking early in the second half, scored 17 points in the first 3 drives. Goff, 333 yards and 3 touchdowns. Stafford, 368 yards and 2 touchdowns. Puka Nacua, 9 receptions for 181 yards, and the Rams have won 8 of their last 9 games. They're 19-9 ATS, their last 28 games as a favorite. The Ravens shut out the Bengals, and the Bengals were shut out for the first time ever with Joe Burrow at quarterback. Man, really should have saw this one coming. Maybe you did, right? Joe Burrow making some comments this week. They were almost depressing comments about his future and about he played like the way he was talking earlier in the week. It didn't feel like he wanted to even play in this particular game. You want to come back and give your team a spark or try to rally the group a little bit because you're out of the playoffs. But Burrow played his worst game maybe of his career, so much so that he was apologetic in a press conference after the game and said he couldn't lead any team in the league to a victory with the way he played. Cincinnati had 4 drives get into Raven territory, but they could not even score in the game. They ran 71 plays, but were just 3 of 15 on third down. The Ravens had a 95-yard pick six where they were handing the ball off and going all the way. So Baltimore won its 4th straight road game, and they're right now putting the pressure on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They still have about a 50% chance to make the playoffs if they can pass up Pittsburgh here. They trail them actually by half a game in the standings, with Pittsburgh having a huge game tonight, of course, against the Miami Dolphins. Just to make note, I mean, here the temperature yesterday in these a couple of games, this one as well, the very, very cold conditions, and we saw low-scoring games in both the Browns and the Bears and the Ravens and the Bengals, and it's going to be cold in this game also. Tonight, Derrick Henry, 11 carries, 100 yards, and the Ravens are 16-9 in their last 25 games as a road favorite, and they've won 6 of the last 7 games against the Bengals. Jaguars over the Jets, 48-20 behind. Trevor Lawrence, 5 touchdowns, 330 yards. The Jaguars racked up 3 touchdowns on their first 3 drives. They look like the best team in the league. They're not, but they look great over the Jets. Jaguars lead Houston by a game in the AFC South. They're 7-4 ATS in their last 11 as a home favorite. Brady Cook for the Jets, 176 yards in his first NFL start. It wasn't awful in that game, but it was a mismatch there, and the Jaguars rolled. Texans dumped the cards. You talk about these big favorites here. There's another one that rolled with these double-digit spread yesterday. Look at them all here in the early games. The Texans, the Eagles, and the Jaguars all rolling here. Their double-digit victories. It was Stroud, 260 yards and 3 touchdowns. Houston has won 6 straight. They're the number 7 seed right now in the AFC. Very, very likely to make the playoffs here right now, in second place in the division, but they're kind of clear by a game of the Colts. Cardinals have lost 6 in a row, 11 of their last 12, and they've been averaging, allowing nearly 38 points per game in their last 6 games. Bears over the Browns, 31-3 in frigid conditions. Cleveland in their first 6 drives had basically 6 punts. Chicago led 14-0 at halftime. They've won 6 of 7, 10 of their last 12. They lead the North by a half game and are the number 2 seed currently. In the NFC, Cleveland had just 192 yards of total offense. They've lost 6 of 7, and Sanders couldn't really get much going. He had that deep ball connection. We talked about it, right, with Isaiah Bond, and he connected on a couple of those plays, but really Cleveland, no match in the end for the Bears there yesterday, and they couldn't get the offense going. The Commanders snapped an 8-game losing streak by beating the Giants 29-21. Commanders really dominated. They led 22-7 at halftime. They opened up the game with 4 impressive drives and had 13 points of those drives. Mariota, 211 yards and a touchdown. The Giants have lost their last 8 games, so this is one of the worst games of the day. But, hey, we had the winner on the over here on the morning's team yesterday in that one. The Giants were actually favored in this game for the first time all season, but their defense is bad for sure, giving up all these points to Washington. Giants last 9 or 8 of their last 9 went over the total. So another blowout here. Eagles over the Raiders, 31-0. They led 7-0, 17-0, 24-0, 31-0, and that's what the final score was. As Pickett, I said Pickett would be the difference here and be able to cover that spread, but he was terrible. 64 yards passing in the game. The Raiders in the first half had 25 plays, 53 yards, and no points. So Raiders have lost 8 in a row, 12 of their last 13. They're the biggest joke in the league right now. Philadelphia outgained the Raiders 387 75. Minor league ball here for the Las Vegas Raiders. Eagles lead the NFC East by 2.5 games and the number 3 seed in the NFC currently. Did you have another double-digit favorite here in the San Francisco 49ers? They got the money by half a point, 37-24. The Giants rolled early. First 5 drives had 31 points. They led at halftime by just 7, but they still crushed in the second half. And the 49ers, their last 4 games, yeah, you could consider the competition pretty weak, but they've won by basically 19 points, 11 points, 18 points, and 13 points. Tennessee's lost 8 of 9 as the Niners outgained them, and the Titans are 8-17 against the spread last 25 as an underdog, and 0-10 against the spread in their last 10, coming off of a win for the Titans. Next week, the Titans will play the Chiefs, actually. We'll see how that goes with the Chiefs having to go with Gardner Minshew, and maybe the Titans can pull off the upset. They'll at least be getting the points against Kansas City. And late night, it was the Vikings, in case you missed it. We had a great time with Razor and Mike on the NFL show last night as the Vikings beat the Cowboys 34-26. J.J. McCarthy, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. Vikings have put together some offense with J.J. McCarthy. I know that I'm kind of been the only guy left on McCarthy's bandwagon, but yeah, they've scored 31 and 34 points in their last 2 games. It's probably not going to be quite enough for the Minnesota Vikings, but they got eliminated there with the different combination of results, and the Cowboys, they're hanging on by a thread, but they're toast as well. They did outgain the Vikings by 100 yards in the game. They tried field goals on 6 of their last 7 drives. Didn't matter. They weren't going anywhere, so Vikings get the win 34-26, and the Vikings there get the win. All right, let's see who else is here. Get ready to go here on the show. Get everybody into the room. Man, we got lots of comments from the group, so I want to say more hellos to Non-Legacy here, Mike as well. Mr. Wesker says Bo Nix for MVP. I'm trying to find the odds for Phillip Rivers to be the comeback player of the year. What a joke that is, man. Can't believe people were actually saying that when you got Christian McCaffrey obviously going to win that award. Greg says Buffalo would not get swept. He said the Cowboys choked there. Hey, Steve, a Leftarian, nice to see you. Rough day, man, with some of these games. I know I was having a little bit I was getting pretty steamed there. R. Tom says Eagles got that bounce back. Greg says go be with your family, Philip. Good morning to Trevor Davis in the chat. Thank you, Trevor, for being here. Maybe Peyton Manning could have come out of retirement. Some of these other guys. Art Thompson, it was sad to see him laying there with obvious pain. He said on X later on that, yeah, it hurt. Bobby Mack, good morning. And someone else, who's going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl? Will it be Denver? Like I said, I still look, Josh Allen is the man. We know that, and he did it again. He did it big time and put his team right back into the thick of things. And, I still like the Patriots in the AFC. The Broncos are the only team to clinch a playoff spot so far in the AFC. The Rams are the only team to clinch a spot so far in the NFC yesterday. Greg says he likes it. Those 2 teams, Denver and the Rams, still favoring the Patriots, but Bo Nix certainly looked great there. Look, he's had some other good games as well. I know everybody's kind of saying now this is finally a Bo Nix's moment. He's had some other good games like this, but this one just stood out because of the maybe because of the stakes involved for the Broncos at this time, and they were playing another Super Bowl contender in the Green Bay Packers. M the Great, hello. Cash Kane said the Bills would do it. I think you guys are all talking to me on that one because, yeah, I was on the under in the game, but Hello to Jay Peasy. Nice to see you. Very nice to see you, Jay Peasy. I hope you're doing well. All right, Cash Kane here, talking NFL football as well. And could Burrow end up retiring? Burrow just needs to go to another team. I mean, it seems like he's got plenty left. You just don't want to see him get killed before that. Greg says Baltimore owns those Bengals. Okay, and Mr. Weskers wants to go Miami on the money line here tonight in the game with the Steelers. We'll preview it in just a moment. Terrell says Cardinals and Jets got their team total over. Steelers, do they ever lose on Monday Night Football, Cash Kane? They'll be putting that great record on the line tonight under Tomlin. And, of course, we know Tua does not win in the cold. It gets cold for Tua. Okay, Greg said, man, Washington, what a turnaround, huh? They've gone downhill this season. You wonder if they can, if it's a one-off or which was real, last year or this year. Eagles had batting practice there. Travis Kelce coming down to the end. Gardner Minshew throwing interceptions. Taylor Swift will break up with I think they're engaged. Are they engaged, right? All right, I'll admit on maybe things got a little slow there on Saturday night, and ABC was playing the End of an Eras tour there. I was watching Taylor Swift. I was watching that concert movie on Saturday night after the UFC show. Got to admit it. Got to admit when you're watching T Swifty, Var, good morning. AOD, and you guys thought it was just all about the sports. AOD, hello, thank you for being here. All right, Bar liking maybe a Buffalo to keep it going here right now. And Greg, how about the play though last night with the flip behind the head on the kick?
Steam play.
Oh, we got some steam at least. Something had to be going on around here. It's a preview of, oh man. Well, all right. We got one of our games that we're going to preview here, getting the steam right now with Incarnate Word and TCU here. This was going to be my play. So let me just give it out now and just ruin the college basketball portion of the show. The under's coming in on the steam with Incarnate Word and TCU. It was 145. We're seeing it go down here to 143.5. I like the under in this game, and that was going to be my pick. So let me give it out right now. Incarnate Word and TCU under the total here on the Morning Steam show. All right. Eagles game didn't count because they were playing the Raiders. Yeah, they needed a victory there. Bengals will win a Super Bowl, says Johnny Blaze. Let's come back and visit this when Nine Legacy can say, hey, we did it. Well, I called it back in 2025 in December. The Bengals would win. They've got so much to fix, man. I mean, you know what they need? They need a guy like Anthony Munoz to shore up that offensive line. Could Buffalo get Justin Jefferson? We were talking about last night. Where could Justin Jefferson go? Mike just said flat out that he needs to get out of Minnesota. Hey, catch the ball, JJ, though, right? I mean, he dropped to 2 or 3 of the balls from the other JJ, it felt like, there last night. And could Nine Legacy says, how about getting Sanders? You know, as much as I like him, and I, was defending him last night with Mike, he basically was, saying that, the area, I think of Sanders, a very humble young man. I think he's kind of learned from the attention that he gets, but Mike was really burying him there, and I was calling him out. Let's see here. More Greg talking basketball here. We're going to preview the games tonight. And could the Ravens be the team that no one wants to play in the playoffs? Yeah, I got to get there first, right? We'll see. Still for the Ravens right now on the outside looking in, but we'll see if the Steelers, they're favored tonight, so they should get that win. And now, the Steelers are 7-6 and the Ravens are 7-7, so would be huge for the Steelers, obviously, if they win the game. All right, maybe that's it. We got to preview the games, and I'm just enjoying a Monday morning, so I'm just yapping along here, but we can get started on the previews now. We got 4 dozen of you in here, so let's get rolling with NFL Monday Night Football, and might as well. The markets have already taken a tumble here, down 1/3% here already to start the week after things were looking pretty good on the futures. But hey, I got a little Indian T20 action here on the screen, trying to find some sports, but at least we've got international T20 action here. I'm watching the war. Maybe you're talking about these Warriors. The Warriors are taking on the Giants here right now in a live cricket match. I've been watching cricket in the morning because there's been no tennis for a few weeks for sure. So, all right.
Steam play.
Hey, we got some steam here with North Alabama and Alabama A&M right now. North Alabama taking the steam here today. One of the better games, I'd say, on the card here. North Alabama's up to a 2.5-point favorite in this one. They're taking the steam right now against Alabama A&M. You guys are done saying hello. Hey, you can get more picks from me. I think today I'll find a few picks over there at winnable.com. We were okay yesterday, and a few of the plays there that we had on Sunday. Our free selection came through on the VIP college basketball with USC and Washington State came to go under. We won our free play last night in the NBA with Phoenix and the Lakers. So it's not all about the subscriptions. When you go over to winnable.com/remote, I got a free package out there as well. And those plays did pretty well. Our NBA premiums yesterday, we rolled a couple of them there with Brooklyn and Milwaukee to go under. Also, we had Portland and Golden State over, and we had the under in Indiana and Washington for a 3-2 day yesterday with those picks. And NFL was a little bit thin there, but we did have the Rams -6 and the 49ers -12.5, but I couldn't find the profit there in the NFL. But we did also win our NHL free pick. I think we swept the 3 free picks in there. We had the under with New Jersey and Vancouver there. Also, college basketball premium. We had Minnesota and Texas Southern to go under, and we had Temple and St. Francis game to go over. So it was a winning weekend for the college, but not a profitable day there on Sunday. But we'll have some plays today at winnable.com/Ramon, and you can win those picks by just making a comment in the chat. At the end of the show, we'll do a drawing. I know we skipped the drawing yesterday to get off the air for the guys as they got us ready for that NFL card. They did pretty well there on the card there yesterday, and with the Mikey and Sharky. So we'll have our drawing today. You can win my picks here. If not, use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off a premium pick package for just $19.95. You can subscribe to my daily winnable content. You get plays from me, more plays from me. I try to come on and give you some great plays on the shows here, but hey, we get a little closer to game time, things change a little bit, and I'll send out more plays. So subscribe over at winnable.com. This is how you support me here on the Sports Money Network. Subscribe for $19.95 for 1 month, and I'll throw in an extra week. I'll make it 5 weeks for use the promo code STEAM. It comes out to 41 cents a day. When you use the promo code STEAM, it comes right to your phone. It looks pretty cool. Very easy. You can set the notifications, or you can just check it at your leisure. But when the plays come in from me there, that's pretty good. The way it looks there. Let me see if we got I was going to kind of show it there, the way it comes on the phone here. on a Monday, we don't have much going on, so it just comes in like this, and they scroll up, and then the plays are up there. There's how to subscribe right there. There's that free package in there. That gets you started here with me over at winnable.com. And then you see even the plays when it comes up. Hey, there's that handsome guy. But the plays come up here, even shows you the ones that we did win. There's those free plays there. It shows you a nice big winning logo there with some of the winners there yesterday. So why not at least get the free plays over there? And then if you want to subscribe, you can over at winnable.com. Okay? Really appreciate it. All right, we'll get going with the big game tonight. Thank you for coming in. I want to say hello to Gooey McDougal there. And yeah, I was going to make an appearance there on the Nuke the House channel, but I think they canceled me, or at least for yesterday. They had a big day planned, so they didn't need me over there. And Nunya's here. Hello to Nunya. Gooey's bummed without the tennis. Barr says the Knicks will win the NBA Cup tomorrow out here in Las Vegas. Let's get started with Monday Night Football tonight, shall we? With the Miami Dolphins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers here on Monday Night Football. The Steelers are the kings of Monday Night Football. So to speak, long term. I mean, back when goes back 50 years. It feels like 50 years or more. I don't know. I've been watching Monday Night Football for about 50 years. And the Steelers are the kings of Monday Night Football. Let's face it. You can say what you want about other teams, but I guess if you looked at the overall records, the Steelers are pretty great. Anyway, there's a lot of trends that kind of favor the Steelers and all of their Monday Night Football trends. Mike Tomlin, 22-3 in his coaching career on Monday Night Football. He hasn't lost a Monday Night Football game at home ever in his coaching career. And well, for Miami, Tua. He's 0-6 in temperatures below 40 degrees. I mean, 40 degrees isn't bad right now here in Vegas. It's 40 degrees, but Tua just hasn't fared well. Actually, it's not so much that he hasn't fared well. His teams don't fare well. He's had some okay statistical games. He had some bad ones too, but he's not going to stop passing here tonight, no matter what the score. It's not inclement weather. It's just cold. So it's clear, and there won't be, treacherous conditions out there. In those 6 games for Tua in 40 degrees or below, he has 1 touchdown pass and 12 interceptions. You can get those INT props out, right? I mean, averaging 2 interceptions per game with temperatures of 40 degrees or below. Pittsburgh comes in off the big win over Baltimore. So I feel like the Steelers are kind of the public team here, and nobody's going to want Miami, but maybe me here tonight. I mean, look, they could probably, Devon Achane is probably going to have a pretty busy night. I'm sure they'll rely heavily on Achane here this evening. So, to me, I'm kind of leaning to the dog, but let's see what you guys have in the chat and kind of go over some of the other numbers here with the Steelers. I mean, they've still lost 5 of their last 8 games coming in after that 4-1 start. The Steelers, though, are 5-2 against the spread. Their last 7 as a home favorite, 12-9 against the spread. Their last 21 as a favorite. They're also 17-13 against the spread in their last 30 games coming in off of a win. Steelers, though, are having trouble kind of running the ball, but I will say this: Jaylen Warren has been extremely consistent in the running game. He'll threaten his number here tonight for sure. It's not like he's going to end up much short of his total, if surpassing it all, because it just feels like he is not only consistent in the run game, but also getting the carries here. Yeah, Gainwell's getting some of the action as well, but it feels like Gainwell gets kind of some receptions out of the backfield from Aaron Rodgers, and we'll see how vertical the Steelers can get tonight. with DK in there. DK's got an okay matchup. I actually like Calvin Austin and some of his numbers. I'm probably going to be on Austin tonight when we get to the show with Razor and Mike here tonight. He's been cleared to play. In this one, he had a calf strain, but he'll be out there. And he's number 2 on the depth chart, and he's been held back a little bit in these last couple of games. But if Pittsburgh does have some running success, and I think they're going to come in with a run-heavy game plan tonight with Jalen Warren. So we'll see. Now, I like Freiermuth here tonight, but it does look like Washington has been cleared to play. Darnell Washington. And the Steelers got, 3-4 guys that can play tight end, and so they all kind of get in there. They're really tough to kind of get their target share correct, right? With Freiermuth, with Jonnu Smith. At least Jonnu Smith has the former team angle to go on here tonight, and Cam Hayward as well. He doesn't see much action, but still, it's tough to pinpoint. It just feels like Rodgers has found a little bit of connection with Freiermuth, but he hasn't made his numbers. But Steeler tight ends do have a great matchup. It's just finding the right one, and it's kind of hard when you got 3 guys. Maybe you could take a stab on some on the touchdown prop, but I don't know which one's going to get the most action. It feels like Freiermuth. He's the one I kind of want to play there because the numbers are reasonable, and I just feel like he's the one that Rodgers kind of is getting a connection with. Now for Tua, his targets do have a tough matchup. The one thing the Steelers are pretty good at is, pass defense, locking down a little bit on number ones. So can Jalen Waddle, these numbers are pretty high for Waddle. I can't really support him too much, even though probably liking the Dolphins here, and hopefully he can get on track. But Steelers against number 1 wide receivers are really, one of the best in the league. And for Malik Washington, Westbrook-Akine, kind of a tough matchup for the Dolphins and their wide receivers. But I just feel like if Achane gets going, it will help things a little bit here for the Dolphins. Also, Darren Waller really hasn't had great numbers these first 2 games back from injury. He started the season so hot. You got to wonder. I mean, this is a great matchup for Waller, but the first 2 games back haven't been that great. Still, Tua's got to find Waller here tonight. If Waller surpasses his prop total, then I think the Dolphins that's going to be a big advantage to them. And look, Tua, like I said, he's not going to stop throwing here tonight. Just because it's cold, I don't think that's too big. Now, it might be inaccurate, but I think if they are kind of ahead in the game, I think because of the Tua passing success. And if they're down, I think they're going to obviously have to, use Tua to keep on chucking. All right, let's go to the chat and see what you guys have, though, in this one with the Steelers and the Dolphins. These guys play occasionally here. The Dolphins have won 3 of the last 4 in the series. The underdog has covered the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams overall. Miami's 1-3 in their last 4 trips into Pittsburgh, but 3-1 in those 4 games, 3-1 ATS. In those 4 games. 3 straight meetings between these 2 teams have gone under the total here. And like I said, it's very, very cold here tonight. It's about expected to be 20 degrees. And if you look at those 2 games yesterday that had the frigid conditions, the Browns and the Bears, low-scoring game. Obviously, it was a shutout, but that Bears game was ice cold, pretty much, temperatures near. This one's actually just a little bit warmer tonight, but still at 20 degrees. I'm just saying below freezing here. The Bears and the Browns had the low scoring game there yesterday, and the Ravens and the Bengals did as well. As a losing team basically got shut out or nearly shut out. So I'm going with the under. I think it's cold tonight, and I think it'll stay under 42.5 here with the Dolphins and the Steelers. Let's go to the chat, see what you guys have. That's my breakdown of Monday Night Football. And hey, kicker props. I'd probably take the Dolphins Riley Patterson here in the game, but I don't know about Boswell. His numbers came a little high. We'll see the Steelers if they finish drives, but I'll pass on Boswell. All right, and then there's the most important factor, maybe that I didn't mention, but Cash Kane does mention it. With Watt out, it actually has a little bit of a statistical data with T.J. Watt missing the games. They're actually 1-10 straight up with him out of the lineup. But I don't know. They're favored, so maybe that will at least make the game close. All right, here we go. Ken Mizrahi, hello, nice to see you. Cash Kane does like the Steelers. Barr likes the Steelers here. And maybe the spread's a little low. Pittsburgh can win this one. Greg says Bobby Mack likes the Dolphins here. I think I do too. I think it's easy to say Dolphins in the cold. They're not great. We know that. But let's see here. But Aaron Rodgers, he's not exactly covering these numbers this season there, right? John 9 Legacy, though, says take the Steelers here tonight. Nunya likes the Dolphins money line and Tua to go off here. And look, I've just gone on my 15-minute preview here of the game and didn't once mention Mike McDaniel. So I think I'm kind of call it an accomplishment. They've won 4 straight for their embattled head coach. Hey, I'm the one sticking behind this guy a little bit. And look, he's probably going to save his job here, I think, with this late season surge, even if they don't get into the playoffs. Feels like they've done a good job here at I guess if they lose them all here from some, maybe it'll be tough. But 6-7 right now. Look, they're not going to make the playoffs. But all right, back-to-back cold weather wins for the Dolphins. Steelers already won there. Everyone's counting us out. Came last week. Terrell, great assessment. Ken Mizrahi says took the Dolphins on a teaser. Maybe the Steelers win it by a touchdown. Roberts on the over here. And Dunya says, how about Tua from Thompson High? Is that right? Thank you, Dunya. Interesting. And maybe the defenses won't look if Tua gets time, right? That's the one thing. When Tua has time, that's when he's at his best. Don't trust Miami in the freezing weather. It's easy to pinpoint that one, Greg, but it's true. Ken likes the Steelers here. Cash Kane, Metcalf, DK for a TD. Could the Steelers have the steel curtain? R. Thompson take Miami. And AOD maybe liking the DK in there. And it's 9 degrees. The AccuWeather forecast that I'm using says 20 degrees, 19 to 20 degrees tonight. That's a 10. I don't know, Greg. I don't know if they're off by 10 degrees, but I'll take your word for it. Can Phillip Rivers do better than Rodgers tonight? Steve likes Miami as well, and and also the under. All right. Get a few more in if you want, but that's it for Monday Night Football. And I'm going to try the under here in this one. Like I said, if it was 10 degrees, I'd really be on the under. And I think I'm on the under because of the cold conditions here. Like I said, there's not going to be any snow flurries or white field or anything like that from what the reports here say. Just very cold. All right, you guys. Great job. We're going to preview the NBA tonight. And we did have a few winners here on the morning steam yesterday in the NBA. We came through with and some those premium winners as well. But on the morning steam here, I was like, where are my morning steam play? We didn't have any because we were off the air there. But all right, let's go to the NBA on Monday night. And these are games involving some of the teams that played in the NBA Cup quarterfinals, but also just, these are write-in games here. This write-in games due to the NBA Cup and these matchups. So here we go. And we'll start off here with the Pistons taking on the Celtics on Monday night. Going to be the Pistons coming in here 20-5 right now. The Celtics 15-10, but both teams come in playing well. Yeah, the Celtics lost last time out, but they've kind of put things back together here a little bit, and we're starting to see some
Steam play.
Boston Celtics, some steam coming in here real quick. Let's take a look. It's the matchup between, it's hockey steam, huh? Tampa Bay and Florida, steam to the under in this one with Tampa and Florida. It is under 6 here, 6 under, I think. Let's take a look and see. We're down to 5.5 over at some of the books right now. 5.5 over 15, 5.5 over 25, 5.5. And the total getting steam to the under. How about that? Here on the Morning Steam Show. All right. Anyway, let's roll with this with Boston, right? Yeah, they lost to Milwaukee last time out, but before that, they had wins over the Rangers, over the Knicks, Washington, the Lakers, and Toronto, as Boston's kind of put things together to get going here a little bit. For Detroit, meanwhile, they've started to heat up again. They've just won 3 straight over Portland, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. All those games were at home. They hit the road here right now, but they're back to clicking at 20-5 here coming into this one. For the Pistons here, they are just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games. Boston's 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 games. The Pistons have gone over in 10 of their last 15 games overall. They're 3-2 to the over as a dog. Boston, meanwhile, has gone over in 4 of their last 5. They're 7-5 to the over in their 12 home games so far this season. Let me hear from you in the chat. This one between the Pistons and the Celtics here today, with the Celtics a slight favorite right now heading into this one. Maybe it's gone down here to 2 or even 1.5. Yeah, I'm seeing even 1.5s here right now. So I think I got to take it down to at least 2 here. And the total maybe it's gone up to 230.5. So let's update it and then hear from you in the chat if you want to take a stab at this one between Boston and Detroit here on Monday night. All right, let's see what you have here. We're going to start it with Barr. I think he likes the Pistons here, plus 2.5. Mr. Westbrook says he doesn't care about the cold. He'll be one of those guys out there with no shirt on. Mr. Westbrook's like the Celtics on the money line. Greg here has Boston to easily cover the spread, it looks like, or at least cover the spread. And let's see here, AOD representing here for sure. He says it's going to be some revenge here in this game for that meeting back there about 3 weeks ago when Boston won 117-114. Boston got the win here in Boston. Could Brown get 40? Trevor likes the Celtics on the money line. Bobby Mack here likes the over here in this one. Cash Cade also on the over. I actually like the under in this game. I'm going to go under 230 here in this one with Detroit and Boston here on the Morning Steam Show. I'm on the under. No, I don't have many trends that point to the under here this season with these two, but I'm taking the under in this one. Cash Kane likes the over as well. You guys are on the over a little bit. All right. Next up, we're still Eastern Conference play with the good one here, the Raptors and the Heat. Both teams coming in with solid records, but losing streaks. Raptors are 15-11 with a 4-game losing streak. Miami's 14-11 with a 4-game losing streak. Toronto with consecutive losses to the Lakers, the Hornets, Boston, and New York. Miami, meanwhile, Of course, they also, the Toronto game was against the Knicks, remember, in the NBA Cup quarterfinals, and Miami lost to Orlando in the NBA Cup quarterfinals. In fact, they've lost to Orlando in 2 of the last 4 games during this losing streak. They also lost to Dallas and Sacramento. Not great. Miami, though, is 8-5 against the spread at home, 14-10 against the spread overall. Toronto's been in a bad rut here. Not only the 4-game losing streak, but they've also failed to cover in 8 straight games right now. Miami 2-6 ATS in their last 8 games. Toronto's covered 10 in the last 15 meetings between these two teams overall. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game, and it's down here to 235.5. That steam coming in here just as we were getting on the air here, obviously. There we go, 230. Yeah, 235.5 here. These teams have been steady to the under here of late, with Toronto going under in 7 of their last 10. Miami's gone under in 4 of their last 5. However, the series has gone over in 5 of their last 6 games overall. So Miami, this is about as rough of a stretch as they've had. I mean, we've kind of been rolling with them a little bit, but it does feel like right now that this is kind of a little bit of a rough stretch, and the same goes here for Toronto, and they're going on the road here, obviously, which hasn't been their best situation as well. So let me hear from you in the chat in this one between Toronto and Miami here on Monday night. Go to the chat with there we go. Mr. Weskers will start off. He's on the Heat. Bar likes the under. Cash Cane Heat money line. Trevor says Heat on the spread. And let's see here. Bar says need the injury report. Ramon, you got to check out the injuries in this one. For the Raptors, RJ Barrett remains out. He's been out for about 3 weeks right now with that knee injury. Also, Battle is probable. Quickly is probable for the Heat. Larson is out here. I think he's missed a couple games now. And let's see here. Also, Jakashonius is out as well. So I'm not too concerned about overall the injuries in this one, but let's hear from you in the chat there. Okay, Miami down to a 5.5-point favorite here. Greg has it by 7. That's really it from you guys in the chat in this one. And for me, I'm going to take the Miami Heat here and lay the 5.5 points. Give me the Heat in this one. Dallas Mavericks will be a road favorite taking on the Utah Jazz. These teams are having a little bit of a rough go, but Dallas has actually played better of late. They've won 2 of their last 2 straight and 4 of their last 5 winners over the Nuggets in Miami. They did lose to OKC, but then they bounced back with a win over Houston, and they beat up on Brooklyn. Utah, meanwhile, coming in off a win over Memphis, 130-126, a 7.5-point road dog. Before that, losses to the Knicks and the Thunder. Dallas just 2-5 against the spread as a favorite this year, but 6-4 against the spread on the road. Utah's 9-4 against the spread coming into this one. Hey, a little bit more hockey steam. Hey, these, what it is. The Sharps can't help themselves, I guess, here with the light card. And here's some steam. Ottawa and the Jets steam to the over in this one. Wow. Total here was 5.5. Juice to the over right now in Ottawa and Winnipeg, and we're seeing 6 unders here. So. Some hockey moves this morning. Got to bet on something, say the Sharps. All right, so here we go, though, Matt. So for, like I said, Utah 9-4 against the spread at home, and you have Dallas, not a very good favorite so far, with 2-5 ATS as a favorite this season. Also, Dallas should be noted 1-6 to the under as a favorite. So usually they perform poorly as a favorite and don't score very many points in those games, or at least go under. There, Utah's been a big time over, of course. So 15-9 to the over overall, 9-4 to the over at home. Like I said, 9-4 record at home as well. ATS 12-8 to the over as a dog. I got to try Utah in this one here, plus 2 points against Dallas on Monday night. And Trevor's with me. He'll take Utah here, but Barr is on Dallas. Greg says he's got Utah to take care of business here. I think he likes the over. Cash Kane, Jazz money line. Robert's on the Jazz with me. He's also on the over. AOD's liking the those are Dolphins, right? Those are Dolphins, right? All right, I guess that's it for that one. We move on with the big game of the night. The Houston Rockets will take on the Denver Nuggets. Rockets 16-6. They're coming in here with wins 3 of the last 4 games. Denver's won 4 straight. They're 18-6 right now. So big Western Conference battle here. Of course, Houston comes in off a win over the Clippers, but they didn't get the money. 115-113 is an 8.5 point favorite. They did lose to Dallas before that, but they beat Sacramento. They beat Phoenix. Houston comes in 9-3 against the spread on the road. They're also 2-0 as an underdog this season. This is only the 3rd time they've been an underdog here. They are getting 1.5. So Denver, though, they're 13-9 against the spread as a favorite, just 5-5 against the spread at home. Overall, Denver's been going over here of late, big time, but the Rockets have been an under of late for the most part. Houston comes in here going under in 7 of their last 10, but Denver's gone over in 8 of their last 9 and 5 of their last 6 at home. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over, and this total has been going up here from an opener of 233 up to 237.5 here at some books right now. It does seem pretty solid there. Maybe that it could be an over here tonight. Woo! Okay, let's see what you guys have here in this one. I'll try to stay awake here a little bit and see what you guys have in this one with Denver at home, just by 1.5. What a game here to keep our eye on during Monday Night Football, and there's something to watch at the end of the game as well. Strother, he's questionable here in this one for Denver, and for the Rockets, Eason is questionable, but those are really the only injuries to consider. I'm going with the Denver Nuggets here at home to win this one. Give me the Nugs, lay 1.5 at home. Okay, those are Sharks. This is AOD. Oh, talking about those moves there. Var says Rockets money line lean to the over. Here's Terrell says Utah money line says this is a matchup back to 11-30-24. They met back on. Let me look here on the computer. They met back on November 21st of this year already, I think. I have them playing back in November with Denver getting a 112-109 victory as a 3-point dog on the road. So I am taking Denver here in this one. Nuggets on the money line, says Trevor. And Greg says he's got that revenge factor for that particular game, right? He says 120-118. Okay, maybe I've got this one wrong, you guys, as far as my information is concerned. So, like I said, I have it as 112-109 this was an NBA Cup game, so maybe you guys don't have this one in your records, but it definitely counts. Um, in the standings. It was a NBA Cup regular season game about 3.5 weeks ago. Bobby Mack says Rockets on the money line, and Mr. Weskers likes the Rockets here as well. But I'm going to take the Nuggets tonight. I'm not clicking with the chat all stars here. It looks like tonight. The Grizzlies are on the road taking on the Clippers. Memphis comes in here 11-14, but they're playing the Clippers, so Clippers are 6-19 coming into this one. Clippers right now have lost here 3 straight games coming into this one with the L's against Memphis, Minnesota, and Houston. Not an easy schedule. They actually covered 3 of their last 4 games overall. For Memphis here, they come in off of a loss to Utah at home, 130-126 is a 7.5-point favorite, but did get wins over the Clippers and Portland before that. So that Clippers game was on December the 5th, just 10 days ago, and Memphis won at 107-98. Memphis also won a meeting here at the Intuit Dome, 112-107 as a 6.5-point favorite over the Clippers back on November the 28th. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. It hasn't really tumbled though at all. It opened as high as 229.5, and maybe some books had it opening as low as 227. It's kind of gone up. But I'm probably going to go with the under here in this one with Memphis and the Clippers as my pick. Let me hear from you as I'll take under in this one. So I'm solid on that under. Let's see what you got here. All right. Going to be, Greg says it'll be a 2-point game. Oh, Terrell, thank you, man. Oh, man, I just blew that one, didn't I? Sorry about that, my friend. Var likes the Grizzlies plus 4.5, and Greg likes it as a 3-point game here, but I think he prefers the over in this one. That looks like it's it for you guys in the NBA tonight. I'm going to take the under here. And Greg's talking bad about my favorite team. Man, how rude, Greg. Come in here, a big Clippers fan like me, and you're talking all that smack about the Clippers. Hey, Greg, you think the Clippers are trash now? You should be rooting for them when I was a Clippers fan, and they would, how the Thunder are going to go, 72-9 this year, probably. But the Clippers were like 9-72. Okay, makes me. We got such a slow day. Makes me want to go back and look at them up. Look up some of the bad seasons for the Clippers. Listen to some of these records, you guys. You think the Clippers are bad now? How about some of these win-loss records when I was a real Clippers fan? Okay, listen to these. Here we go. 17-65. Okay, 12-70. Okay. 21, 20. Some of these seasons are pretty bad. 19-63. Okay, these are the bad. Those are the Clippers seasons. Only the last couple of years. I mean, since the last I don't know. This little run that they're on over the last 10 years, they've obviously been an over 500 team. This is about the worst it's been here. They've been a 500 team over the last decade, amazingly, somehow, with their some of those seasons. But for the most part, they were a laughing stock. All right, at least they got the full, right? At least they got the new gym and everything, right? All right, Mr. Weskers. Mr. Weskers, breaking news, DJ Lagway is going to enter the transfer portal. I think we saw that one coming, though. Okay. Let's go to the colleges. I just have a couple of games here to preview in college college basketball. We have college football tomorrow. We're getting ready for the more bowls. How about Wyoming taking on South Dakota State? College basketball action here for Monday night. I'm just going to look at a couple games, Mr. Weskers. I can only take so much East Texas A&M this season. Probably should go with that one, though, as the first game off. But let's look at the two good games here. You got Wyoming coming in 8-2. You got South Dakota State coming in here 7-5. Wyoming with consecutive wins here over South Dakota and Dartmouth. They didn't get the money, though, against Dartmouth. Still, they've covered 3 of their last 4. South Dakota State coming in off a win over Ball, 68-64, but they haven't been covering very much here of late either. Yeah, Wyoming's favored here in this game at minus 4.5 or so, 151. Wyoming is 4-3 against the spread as a favorite. They are 0-2 to the under on the road, and South Dakota State is 1-3 to the under as an underdog here. But let's see what you have here. This is actually being played at the Stanford at the Sanford Pentagon. Still kind of a home game, of course, for South Dakota State, but I'm going to try Wyoming here on the road. Let me take the Cowboys to win and cover here against South Dakota State. And we'll get any plays from you on this one if you want. Greg likes 78-73, Wyoming here, and Wyoming for Mr. Weskers as well. And hello to SF9. What's he saying? Robert likes the under here in this one. All right, I'm going to take a look at the last one here on the extra board with Incarnate Word taking on TCU. Got TCU an 18-point favorite. They come in 6-3. This total actually is dropping right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we get the you-know-what here, but actually it already got steamed, right? Let me fix that. I already said I'm on the under. Damn. Maybe we should have did more games. This was the one that went with the steam there while we were just getting on the air. And I said, well, that's my play on the under. So that ruined that one. Still, TCU 3-4 to the under at home. Nothing to write home about as far as the trends are concerned. I just prefer the over here, and now it's moved like a pro to 143. Oops, let me get rid of that 18.5, or maybe it is 18.5 actually. There we go. Incarnate Word is 3-1 against the spread as an underdog this season, but TCU 6-3 against the spread overall coming in. So I'm going to take the under. I already said it. I'm on the under here with Word and TCU. All right. I think Terrell might be taking the Wyoming Cowboys. We could have if McNeese and Wyoming were playing, we'd have the Cowboys. Steam to the over. VAR says steam to the over. Okay, well, maybe I'll wait for it to steam back to the over, because I just saw the move come in. It was 145 and it's down to 143, 143.5 or so. Oh man, South Dakota is terrible. VAR is on Word, and Greg here says it's too many points, but that's right on the spread. So, all right, but he does like the under there as well. I think too many points. I think he means on the total. Yeah, too many points. Yeah. All right, that's all I had really in the college basketball for today. I'm trying to save some premiums out there. We got to have some premium plays over at winnable.com. Hey, I've got a 5-game hockey card that we can talk about at least here and get moving with this one. We've got the Florida Panthers on the road taking on the Lightning. Here in this one, you've got Bobrovsky. Let's fire up the old goalie computer here and see if I can't get him right for a change. Panthers come in 16-13-2. Tampa Bay 18-11-3 right now. Tampa's in a pretty good roll here. They've won 2 of their last 3. My man Jonas Johansson's in goal in this one. He's Let's see, coming in here. Whoops. He's coming in here. Actually, let's see. I'm gonna check the goalies and make sure, but yeah, I've got Johansson in here. I know some of the sites are listing Vasilevsky, but Bobrovsky 2.84 goals against, 13-8-1 record overall for Bobrovsky. Look, when he's in there, without Bobrovsky in there, they are 3-5-1. So it does make a little bit of difference when Bob is in the goal, I guess. Tampa Bay comes in here just 13-12 as a favorite. Panthers are 3-2 as an underdog. These two teams met back on November 15th, and Tampa Bay won 3-1 at Florida. Florida also owns a 7-0 win over Tampa this season. See what you guys have in the chat in this one between Florida and Tampa Bay here on Monday night. Tampa, pretty good favorite here, it looks like. And I'm going to take Tampa in this one over Florida. Give me the Lightning minus $1.40, even $1.45 here. I'm going to go with Tampa tonight. All right, and Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Panthers in this one. And let's see here. I think Greg likes the Lightning as well. Mr. Western says, I hate college basketball. It's absolutely like my favorite sport, of course. Bar likes the under here in this one. That steam came in on the under. All right, here we go. Next up, the Ducks are taking on the Rangers here, and you got Anaheim. Second place Anaheim now at 19-12-1. The Rangers come in 16-13-4. Ducks have lost 2 straight. Coming into this one, the Islanders and the Devils here. Not a great run here by Anaheim, but they are at home. Fourth game of the road trip here for Anaheim. Rangers, meanwhile, coming off of a 5-4 win over Montreal there in overtime. On Saturday night. The Rangers, however, are still 4-8 at home so far this season. Meanwhile, the Ducks are 13-9 as an underdog. Rangers have gone under in 12 of 15 home games here, and man, that's pretty significant. They're also 16-11 to the under as a favorite. The Ducks do trend over this season, 20-12 to the over. 10-7 to the over on the road, 12-10 to the over as a dog, but it seems a pale in comparison to some of the numbers here for the under on the Rangers, and I'm going to take the under in this one. They're going to hang this 6.5 there right now. I'm showing it currently at 6.5 under 20 at most books. Give me the under here with the Ducks and the Rangers here on Monday night. And we've got here, let's see, Greg. Oh, there's Timothy Hawk. Nice to have Timothy there. He likes the Lightning in that first game. Greg here on the Rangers. He likes it over. He likes Rangers and over here. Trevor, I think, likes the over as well. Billy Eagle Flyer might be on the draw here, but Timothy Hawk likes the under. And Greg said he liked that 5-4 game the other night. The Ottawa Senators are on the road taking on the Winnipeg Jets. A couple of struggling teams here right now. Ottawa comes in 14-13-4, coming in off of a loss last time out to Minnesota. Winnipeg comes in here off of a 5-1 win over Washington at home. That snapped a 3-game losing streak. Winnipeg is 14-8 as a favorite. Ottawa respectful 4-5 as an underdog this season. These two teams have trended over for sure. They're combined 37-25 to the over. Ottawa's 11-6 to the over on the road. Winnipeg's 9-6 to the over at home. Ottawa's 6-3 to the over as an underdog. See what you have here in this one between the Senators and the Jets here on Monday night. Ottawa's lost 6 of the last 7 meetings to Winnipeg overall, even though Winnipeg's been, losing here. They've dropped 9 of their last 12. Winnipeg's gone over in 7 of their last 9 games at home. Ottawa's gone over in 5 of their last 6 on the road and 7 of their last 9 games overall. I'm going to take Winnipeg here in this one. I think the season series will kind of even out here, or at least favor them anyway. These two teams have not met yet this season. I'm taking Winnipeg at home as a small favorite here against Ottawa. Barr was on the Rangers. Greg says the Senators could be on a roll. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Jets, but Timothy Hawk likes the Senators. And Greg says, don't name your team the Jets. The Nashville Predators will take on the St. Louis Blues. Nashville comes in here having won 2 of their last 3, although they lost at Colorado last time out 4-2. They were coming in, they had beaten Colorado a couple of games earlier 4-3 for a rare Colorado loss. St. Louis, meanwhile, comes in off of a win over Chicago at home, but they continue to be the league's worst favorite at 2-12, but Nashville is 6-16 as an underdog. Still, the Blues just a slight favorite in this one. They're still favored, but man, that's a dismal record if you're favored. 2-12. We've been going against them quite a bit, and it's paid off. But Nashville's not very good either, particularly on the road. They're 4-7 on the road, but still that streak for St. Louis bugs me, and we've just won so much money fading them as a favorite. I'm going to take Nashville here at even money tonight. Give me Nashville here over St. Louis in this one. I'm going to take the Preds here. I might be the only one. Let's see what you have in the chat in this one. Here's the Blues for Barr, Preds in the over for Philly Eagle Flyer, and Greg says he's got the Blues 3-2 tonight. And one more here with a good one. The Kings are taking on the Stars. The Kings come in 14-8-9, but they've lost 2 in a row. Losses to Seattle and Calgary. Meanwhile, Dallas comes in here with a record of 21-7-5, but they've lost 2 in a row as well. Right now, losses to Minnesota and Florida. They really haven't played that well over the last 3 or 4 games, but they're still 10-5 at home so far this season, and the Kings are 10-2-1 on the road right now for the Kings. 10-2-5 on the road so far. They're in 3rd place. They are just 4-5 as an underdog, but still that road record is tough to nix, that's for sure. This total is pretty low here, but man, you got to think that this one's got a 3-2 written all over it. Maybe 3-1, maybe 2-1 tonight with these two teams. The Kings are 3-6 to the under as a dog. Dallas is 11-15 to the under as a favorite. And well, I think we've seen mostly unders here between these two teams here. 7 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Dallas has gone under in 5 of 7. The Kings have gone under in 5 of 7 as well. So, well, let's see what you have here in this one with the Dallas taking on the Kings here on Monday night. And I'll go to the chat. Kings have struggled against Dallas for the most part, losing 13 of the last 16 meetings between 13 of the last 19 meetings between the two teams. The teams met back in October, and it was 3-2 in favor of the Kings. Go to the chat, though, here in this one, and Barr has Dallas, and Timothy Hawk has Dallas for sure. Greg likes Dallas. You guys are liking Dallas, except for Mr. Westford, so they're making him mad. No team can win 3 in a row. Hey, Robert Dixon, just in time. Good to see Robert there in the chat. He's like in Dallas as well. Hey, look, if everybody in the chat likes Dallas, I'm just going to take Dallas here right now. I'm going to take Dallas to beat my Kings tonight. Look, that's a pretty stellar record, 21-7-5. Dallas, obviously one of the best teams in the league. Kings are doing a nice job here right now, third place in the Pacific here currently. Edmonton, they're continuing to kind of stay there. They're in fourth place right now after that big trade here this weekend. That's going to do it for the Morning Steam Show. Greg says, no way they lose. Let's put it all on Dallas tonight. All right. It's going to do it for the Morning Steam, you guys. Should be a great sports betting Monday. And, there's also some international soccer Monday night fixtures across the pond here, including Bournemouth at Man U, Como and Roma in Italy, Betis and Vallecano in Spain. So a couple of Monday night football games, European style. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Stars as well. We all like the Stars. I'll trust the chat in this one. Give me the Stars. All right, great job, you guys. Thanks a lot. Here, we'll see you tonight on the Sports Money Network. We can have our show in conjunction with Razor Sharp Picks here tonight with the Miami Dolphins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, and that should be a good one in the cold conditions. We'll see you tonight here at I don't think it's called Heinz Field anymore, but I don't remember what it's called anymore. Anybody in the any Yinzers out there can tell me the name of Pittsburgh Stadium now? I can't even think of it. I know it's is it an insurance company or what is it? Don't name your stadium after insurance companies. Let's get ready to do the drawing here. Let's run the commercial. Make sure you pick up my plays over at winnable.com.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, let's do the drawing here. Somebody's going to win my plays. Win my plays. Here we go. AOD, Billy, Cash Kane, Mr. Weskers, Johnny, Greg, Steve, and the winner is AOD. All right, AOD. Hey, I hope AOD is signed up over there at winnable.com. If not, use the promo code WINNER. I'll make sure you get a month of the picks if you want, or you can give them to somebody else if you want. If you're in there, I'll try to find you. I don't know. I don't think it's AOD's email address there, but let me know, AOD. I'll make sure you do so much great work for me here on the show. I'd love to make sure you're getting the plays. I mean, anybody who comes in here every day all fired up like you are should at least get complimentary plays from me, whether you like it or not. All right, that's going to do it for the Morning Steam Show. I'll be back tonight with the gang. It's Monday, so I get to take a little nappy poo here somewhere along the line. And make sure, look at that. Look at our little Christmas. Remember, let's put up the Christmas decorations here. Do I have the right one up there? With our Christmas. Oh, there we go. Woohoo! We're getting close here. 10 days away from Christmas, and we were kidding last night on the show, right? We're like, we're going to spend time with the families and enjoy the day on Christmas. We don't need to watch these, or at least be on the air for these 3 football games. Well, you know what? Each one of them, I think, does have one team that's a playoff, but the other one's not. So, thanks everybody in the chat as well. Really appreciate it. there. Let's see, Mr. Weskers, and well, you know what, AOD, maybe if you give it to Mr. Weskers there if you don't want it. You guys both deserve it. All right, that's going to do it. I'll catch you tomorrow here, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Make sure to join Mikey Money today at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific. Mikey gets you ready for the nighttime action with pre-gaming. He'll get you ready for tonight's game, and then we'll be along again at 7:45 Eastern, 4:45 Pacific. Hey, I'll have some props here ready to go. We did okay on the props there. Last night we had J.J. McCarthy over in his yards. We had Jordan Addison in his yards yesterday. We had we never got to Aubrey over, did we? Flournoy, we had Flournoy in the second half to go over there. So I'll be rolling the props tonight here on the show with the Pittsburgh-Miami game. I think I already told you a couple of them that I like. All right, that's going to do it. Thanks a lot, everybody. Catch you tomorrow morning's team. And for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
It's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. Ramon Scott.